Hello and welcome to another new episode of Learning Simplified. So far we have seen how to create up to this part, and today we are going to know how to create the rest of this element, that is creating this banner element here, inserting the background image and stylize the corresponding text and make necessary amendments inside it. So before we proceed any more further, first of all we are going to create some divs inside into this banner holder central box. So let's create those necessary divs. Actually this is nothing, we are just breaking this div, this banner holder central box, into two corresponding child divs. So let's proceed. First of all let's go get to style sheet and copy this part, and let's create our necessary divs inside. Now as we can see that these two divs has been created, and these are the child divs of this banner holder central box that has been divided into two major child divs, such as this banner holder central box left part and its right part. Now all we need to do, we need to get back to our website and reload, and we can see that these two banners have been created inside this banner holder central box. Now as we can see here in this template that this is a background image which is residing at the leftmost position, and this is the text document which is coming under the rightmost position. So all we need to do first, we need to create these two divs, and then we need to insert contents accordingly. So we have created these two child divs inside, and in this yellow box in this extreme left side we are going to insert that background image, and in this extreme right side we are going to insert this text part. Now here comes the perception of a web designer. Whenever we are trying to create something, first of all you have to take care of viewport. You don't need to actually worry about this template part, because template actually provides you this is actually providing you with your destiny. This is actually showing you up what will be the end result of your website. But when you are coding everything, all you need to remember, you have to take care about the viewport. The viewport height is the most considerable thing. So what is the viewport? Viewport height is actually the height of a particular monitor. Now in this case the viewport is this one actually. So now whenever you are making a website, all you need to do, you need to take care of that every relevant information should lie within the viewport of the browser. This has a major issue. This is because of there is a much percentage of users who never actually scrolls down to see what is lying at the bottom of this page. Whenever he just opens up a website, he concentrates on the contents inside this viewport, and if it is relevant and if it is organized, then he just goes further. So everything inside, everything relevant information that is relevant to the topic of your website must be kept here, must be kept within this viewport. That is why whenever you are assigning a particular height to this banner, you have to take care of how much height you should provide it with. As you know that in most cases the maximum dimension of height in case of monitors are 1080 so far been used around worldwide, and the minimum of it is 768 pixel. Now I am talking about the desktop thing. I am not talking about the iPhone or tab, or those things actually comes under mobile responsiveness, and when we will be discussing about mobile responsiveness, we will be talking about it. But this time, as we are bounding our contents inside 1000 pix wrapper, that means we are concerning about the desktop element, and that is what we need to do. We need to stay focused to our desktop properties. So when I'm just trying to make this banner element, we see that we want to keep this part into our viewport. This part must come inside our viewport. Now this is the first child div yellow box that we have introduced here, and this is the second child div inside this central banner holder. So that is why this time we are going to insert some background in this left yellow box. So we need to practically bring this image inside this left yellow box. But everything you have to remember that whenever you are editing an image to fit into this left yellow box, what will happen? Let's have a closer look at this video. So let's assume that this is the central banner holder div, which in case we hold it as a parent div, which is at a width of 800 pix, and we are gonna split it into two child divs. This is the child div 1, which is at a width of 300 pix, and this is the child div 2, which is at a width of 500 pix. Now we intend to keep an image into child div 1, that means at a width of 300 pix. What we have to remember, if we intend to place an image within child div 1, we have to take care of a major thing. In this case, if we make the image width greater than the child div 1, there is a possibility that the child div 1 is exceeded over by the image, containing a total disruption to the display. That is why whenever we are trying to edit an image to place into child div 1, which is at a width of 300 pix, so whenever you edit this image used in your project, make sure that the image width doesn't surpass the containing div's width, else proper display will not be available. Now as child div 1 has a width of 300 pix, we will not edit our image at a max width beyond 300 pix, else the image will get enlarged, causing malfunction to the display. So always remember and always you keep it in your mind that max image width equals to container div width, else you won't get proper result. Now that we have understood what will happen if we exceed the image width over this div width, then we will proceed now. Accordingly, we will cut an image which is at a width of, now here's the image, and we can see that the dimension is 300 by 350, and we have kept this dimension of this banner holder central box left part as 300 pix. So the image width will never exceed this 300 pix left part, and it will stay inside this banner element. So let's bring on this image into our left box part. Press Ctrl S, get back to your project and reload. Now you can see that the image is inserted inside your div, but we have provided certain heights over here, that is why it will surplus on this height. So all we need to do, we need to lift up this height element here. We don't need anymore this height, we won't need this height anymore. That is what we are just lifting up this height element over here. We don't either need this background element, that is why we are going to comment off this background. Now we can see that the image is in place. All we need to do, there's a couple of modification has to be made, such as in this banner holder central box we have provided a height. You see here, here's another height, so we need to lift off this height. We don't need this height anymore. And there's a padding bottom of 10 pix. We can see that it is a, so we need to comment out this padding bottom too. We don't need any padding bottom right now. So press Ctrl S, get back to your project and reload, and you can see that the image has taken place in the extreme left box.